Woo! What's up, guys? It's Jules. Time for a stitch with me. You trying to announce this, buddy? Stitch with me. A stitch with me. A stitch with me. Okay, I'm ignoring you now, buddy. A stitch with me for the Reaper. Ooh, he's scary. Let's get him out of the face. Let's get him out of our faces. Oh my goodness, guys. If you cannot tell, I am sick. And I'm still sick. I've waited all afternoon, all day to do this video in the hopes that I would sound better, but I do not. So we're just going to do it this way. And I hope you don't mind too much. I mind that the birds are talking. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually put the bigger wrap over them and talk to you guys while I'm doing it because they distract me. You guys can... Do you need food? Hold on. Do you need food? Yes, you need food. Okay, hold on. Maybe that's your problem. Alright, I could edit this out, but I'm not going to. You guys can still hear me. Come here, boys. Come here, boys. There's food. There's food. What? You have been making such a mess. Alright, now eat. And I'm going to tuck you in for a little while. Yes, tuck you in. There you go. There you go, boys. Nice boys. Anyway, hi. So yeah. Oh, man. Still sick. Wasn't too bad. Probably wouldn't still be sick if I hadn't made some questionable choices in my life for the last couple of days. I will say that for those of you who don't know, we have seen Avengers. No spoilers in this stitch with me. There's so much to talk about and there's so much to stitch. So I'm going to try and do both at the same time. I slept like 12 hours last night because after my little adventure Thursday night, Friday morning, I was so incredibly tired, and I was getting really sick last night that I'm like, I gotta go to bed. So I drugged myself up, cold medicine, went to sleep at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, did not get out of bed until almost 9 o'clock this morning. And that helped a lot. That helped a lot. I'm hoping, though, that I can actually sleep tonight without being woken up by coughing fits. I hate that part. Well, I don't hate that part. There's so many worse symptoms than coughing, but at least in my book. Where am I at? Oh, I'm right here. Here I am. Alright, let me get this going. So we did 2 weeks. We're doing 2 weeks of this. I'm sorry that I didn't do a stitch with me last week. But you guys knew that we ran out of time because of the bees. And bees will be the first topic of conversation that we will have. But let me just get a few things organized here so that I can get my stitching going. But look how close. I did some more work on it this week already. So we're gonna come real close to finishing this page. Pretty soon here. Whew. Real soon. I have been stitching a lot. I've been putting some stuff up on the blog. I did some work on Ronnie Rowe this morning. And so I got a lot going on here. Ah! Hold on, let me find a proper needle. Get my needle ready. I may pause this video periodically. I might sneeze on occasion, and I may cough on occasion, and I may not be able to edit it out. Apologize in advance. Maybe by me being Sneezy Sneezerson, whatever, whichever. Ooh, let me turn my light on my... I'm using my little magnifiers right now. And let me just pull these little suckers out. So let me show you real quick. Some of my magnifiers. Remember how we were talking last time? People were giving me all these great suggestions on what to do. Somebody just said, why don't you just pull out these little thingies? Because that's where my hair gets caught. So that's what I'm going to do here. Because I'm like, I don't need to be losing more hair by stuff pulling on my hair. So now we got naked ear holders. I have no idea if that's what it's called. But that's what it is. Why do I feel like I don't have enough light? Oh, that's right. I took them off to turn the light on. Boom! Shakalaka. Alright. Maybe I can see. I need... Oh, I'm not organized getting into this. I'm not organized. Alright. Let's get going, shall we? Why you guys holding me back, huh? Why you holding me back? No, I'm just kidding. I'm holding myself back. That's for dang sure. You guys aren't holding me back. Alright, let me figure out my stitching here. Let me see where I was at. 1, 2, 3. Wow, where am I? Oh. look, I'm actually missing a stitch right there, half a stitch right there. What was I thinking? All right, so this needs to be this here. Hold on. Doo-be-doo-be-doo. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I'm going to do something really crazy. Check this out. So I started my half stitch there. Ooh, I can actually watch this while I'm... Okay. Then I'm going to go over here, because this is the same, supposed to be the same color. Maybe it's not, but it's supposed to be. Do my half stitch, finish that stitch there, and then come back and do this one. Booyah. Booyah. Oh, I should have brought in some tissues. This is going to be messy. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so let me find out real quick where I'm at. All right, so let's go back, way back, if you remember, back to the bees from last weekend. I'm not sure I remember. This has been a crazy week. But we spent a lot of time with the bees last weekend, like 10 hours total. We had to do that whole bee moving operation where we had to move them from one area of the ranch that were utilizing their services. We had to move from one area of the ranch to the other. By the way, like a bird flies, by the crow flies, by the whatever. It's distance-wise, A to B is really short, like a 20-minute walk. But for us, we can't just drive that straight through. There's gullies and whatnot. We just can't drive it straight through. So instead, we have to drive, I don't know how long it is. It's about a 20-minute drive. You got to get out and open up and shut gates and things like that, but it's not too bad. And so anyway, so we went out last weekend, Saturday night. I missed game, whatever it was, the deciding game of the Blues, because it was more important to me that we got home a little earlier. I'm glad I did. I'm glad we did that. We left at about 6:30, 6:45, and got to the bees right at dusk. So we had a little bit of light. The bees were pretty much all inside. There was no activity outside the hive. So what we do is when you move a hive is you don't want to jostle around too much and then allow the bees to kind of fly out of it, because boy, would they be mad. They'll think that they're literally like, well, they're being robbed, which is kind of what they're being. They're being robbed of their location. So we had to cover up the front entrance, and then, which we did was sort of like duct tape and a bit of screening. And so we did that, taped them all up, and then my husband kind of used these straps, basically, and sort of like the way people might strap things down, like in a trailer or whatnot, and strapped it all down. And then we picked up, and the hive is pretty light right now. There's not a lot of honey stores. They've used them all winter. So the hive itself is actually quite light. In about 2 months, it'll probably like triple or quadruple that weight just in honey. And it would be a lot harder to pick it up. But right now it's pretty light. So the two of us, well, actually one person could have easily picked it up, but it's just bulky. And it's safer if two people share the load and share the maneuvering. And so we moved it into the back of our little SUV and got them all situated in there. And then drove them over to the new location, set them up, went back, got the other two beehives. The second two beehives are a lot more aggressive, and they're the angry bees. We've got two hives that are really nice, gentle bees, and two hives that are really ticked off at us at all times. That's actually the hive that we successfully split last year, meaning we opened up the hive, went in, stole their queen, literally went in and stole their queen, kidnapped her, moved her into the hive next door. To them, we might have moved her a mile away. They had no clue. And sort of did that, and then manipulated the eggs of hive 1 and to get them to try to produce a new queen, which they did. That actually worked. And but for whatever reason, I think because we did that, everybody got really angry at us, and they've still yet to forgive us. Still yet to forgive us about the whole process. So we are just dealing with it with some angry bees right now. But anyway, so in the process of moving the second set of hives, the angry hives, we got over to the new ones, and as we were setting up, we pulled both hives out, set them on the ground, had moved hive number 3 over to where it's supposed to be, and as we were removing the luggage, the straps from around it, I'm like, I think the bees are loose, because they had, there was a certain amount of sound, and all of a sudden that certain amount of sound got a lot louder, and I'm like, I think the bees are loose. And my husband's like, go grab the light. So I set up my cell phone to shine the light on us from a distance. So I ran over, got the light, in the dark, by the way, which is no fun. And because by now it was like pitch dark. There's the full moon was coming up, but it was blocked by, it was so dark out there. You couldn't see hardly your hand in front of your face if you didn't have a light. And so I ran over, got the light, ran back. And sure enough, they were pouring out of the front of the hive, and we were like, "Oh shoot!" It was one of those situations where we were like, "What do we do?" Because we have our bee suits on. We're not silly, we're not crazy, so we had our bee suits on. But then they just started like if this is the front, like the mesh of your mask and stuff, they just started coming over and they were just hitting and smacking against our faces on our hive suits, or bee suits. So we were like, yeah, we're done. We don't like the fact that they're attacking us, because even though we were in the safety of our suits, you can't guarantee anything. And so if they could have found a way in, 5 would have found their way in, and that would have been bad. So I'm not sure why are they barking because I said the word so? Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, so we said, yep, we're done with hive 3. We're just going to leave all this stuff on it. And then we very quickly got hive 4 moved into position and sort of did the same kind of thing, because the bees from hive 3 were still coming over to us and being like, you stole our queen. I'm like, you got a new queen. I don't care. You stole our queen. We remember. And so that's kind of what happened there. So by the time we got all that done, we went back to the original site, cleaned up a little bit, and then drove home. We got home about 11:30, 11:45. So it was almost 5 hours that night. Super exhausted. And but we had 2 bee packages coming in the next morning, which are those like little boxes of bees that have also, they come with the queen, and they have, I don't know how many thousands, 3 pounds of bees basically. It's a 3-pound box. And so basically, sorry, I've got a cough drop in my mouth, and you guys should be very grateful that I do, because otherwise I'd be coughing. But anyway, so then, where am I? Here I am. I'm just trying to figure out where I'm at with my stitching. I'm not going to get a lot of stitching done. I'm going to be talking mostly. Pretty much. Because where am I? Hold on. I know, I'm going to be all over the place. Let me make sure that I am notifying the proper bee people here. The proper bee people. My goodness. Hold on. Stay on target. Anyway, so next morning we had to go pick up a couple new bee packages. We had to go to closer in. Yeah, it was pretty much like just almost downtown Denver. Got to drive in there, pick the bees up, and then go all the way back down to the hives. It was a little over an hour's drive coming down. So we got down there. Gosh, I don't even remember what time we got down there, but we put the 2 new bee packages in, took them straight there, put the 2 bee packages in, spread a bunch of pollen out everywhere so that the bees had, pollen source, put out a bunch of sugar water for them so they had moisture and energy, and honey, all the honey making materials basically, and straightened up a bunch of stuff, just did a bunch of maintenance and whatnot, and then we went back into the car, drove back to the old site, and then finished cleaning up the old site because we had left some stuff there. And in the meantime, when we got back to the original old site, we had left 1 box with some frames in it. Now, I still haven't asked my husband if he did that on purpose, because if he did, he was very smart. The bees did not realize they had been moved. They didn't wake up one morning and go, oh, we've been moved to spot B from spot A. They didn't know that. So what happened was, when they went out, they just go out and they use, whatever detectors they have to kind of find flowers. And I'll know about this later. My husband's the expert. So to find the flowers, to get the pollen, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, all right, we're all filled with pollen. Back to Site A. Back home. Well, Site A no longer has hives. There's nothing there. And what was fascinating was you actually, like we had the old 4 hives, and there were like a couple places where there were literally like bees circling exactly the location of where the hive was. I got a video of it, and I got to get that bee video up, but the that was fascinating. But where we had our like a little box with frames over here, it was swarmed with bees. I mean, they just were covering almost every little bit. So my husband was like, well, either, you know, maybe there were 500 bees in that area. And so we were thinking, well, we could just basically say these 500 bees are a loss, or maybe we can try and save some. So what he did was he picked up the box and had all the bees in it, and he basically hand carried it back over to where the new hives are, in the hopes that they would then be taken back to their new home, and they would realize that's their new home. But we're going to lose bees because they're going to go out thinking that they are supposed to be coming back, and then they're not. So honey production may be slowed down for a little bit while the current worker bees or the current bees that go out and forage for pollen and whatnot, those guys, most of those guys may not make it back to where these new hives are. So what we have to do is, it's time for the queen to start producing new brood, you know, new bees that are going to go out and do those kinds of things. So as they make new babies, those babies will know that they need to come back to this new home. So it's going to be a little bit of a stunted early honey production, but we're doing it for long-term growth, and honestly because we were asked to. And so, but it's the new site's way better than the old site, so I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, now that I can't stop talking about it, let me go back and find where I'm at. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I know that gains it. That. What is Topher doing outside? What is Topher doing outside? I thought I had everybody inside. Oh well. No, Topher. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and do these. Do this. I think, is that right? No, that's not right. This is so hard to do while I'm discussing bees. The bees, if you please. Alright, I tell you what, we're going to focus on down here, because I know where I'm at down here. I'm all kerfuffled. Hold on, I just got to make sure I got the right thing here. Alright, go here. So anyway, so we didn't get home. Oh, so then what? So when my husband was walking the bees over, I drove the car back over myself, back over the road or whatever, the little dirt roads, and that has to go really slow because it's not really okay. I'm gonna have to go time out, guys. I gotta go let Topher in. It's gonna be loud. All right, now I'm back. I had to let the little bugger in. I don't know how he managed to stay outside for half an hour and not bark. Barking is his MO for everything. So anyway, so drove the thing over, picked up the hubby after he dropped the bees off, and that took about, we didn't get home till almost noon that day, and that was the day we were just so exhausted. And so we came home, took long naps, tried to watch a little hockey, and nothing much was getting done. So that's why I just didn't do a stitch with me, because I just didn't have any capacity to do that. And then sure enough, like a couple days later, I get this cold. And then I'm like, oh, man. And it just kind of comes on a little bit, over a little bit. Bee stuff. Let's just finish up on bee stuff. So hubby went down to check on the bees again today. And they're not really making a whole lot of stuff right now because they're, like I said, the travelers are basically, like, they don't know where they're going, what they're doing. They're all discombobulated. And so, here we go, wait a minute, right here. Anyway, so, am I showing you guys the right thing? There we are. So anyway, so they, I said that 3 times, didn't gave them more sugar water, all this stuff and whatnot. Tomorrow morning, we have to go and pick up one more package of bees. We had issues with the delivery of said packages of bees because of the weather situation in California over the last couple of months. I probably mentioned this already, but I'll do it again just for those who haven't heard the whole story. Because of all the heavy rains that like northern California has received over the last few months, it really affected honey production and honey queen propagation. There is a whole method by which you can actually form queens or trigger bees to form queens. And if you're having issues with providing food, if the weather is off, then it really hampers that. So what ended up happening was the normal company that provides the queens and the bees for the local business that we buy from, they just didn't have nearly enough. And so they had to buy their bees and their queens from someplace else. And because of that, the delivery date changed. So instead of picking everybody up on today, actually, today's the 27th, we would have gotten everybody today. We've already gotten 2 and we're getting the additional 1 tomorrow. So I'm going to go pick those guys up. And then from there, I'm going to run them down to drop them off and then head all the way back up here and watch Avengers. So that was the original plan. And that was as going into Wednesday, going into Thursday, our plan this weekend was we weren't going to do anything on Saturday. And then on Sunday, pick the bees up, go do all that, and take care of all that, and then go to the movie. We tried to get an earlier movie ticket. Easy for me to say. We tried to get movie tickets earlier, but when they were released, we were both very busy at work. We could not get them purchased. So the best chance we could get was Sunday morning. Because we didn't want to go at I don't know why we didn't want to go at Saturday night. I don't remember why. But anyway, Sunday morning ended up being the only option we had at that time to buy tickets. Let me come down here and make sure that I don't need any all the way down here. I think I'm going to have to do that at a different time because I'm not being very good at identifying. Ooh, right here. Identifying for sure when I need my stuff. Yeah, I'm not doing a very good job. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. There we go. Okay, that's it. You guys are probably like, that's it the whole time, but I gotta go buy the design. So anyway, so we then super worried about people spoiling Avengers for us. I'm not spoiling Avengers for you guys. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you anything other than I thought it was one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Anyway, but outside of that, so the hubby, I'm off on Thursday, and I'm getting sick, right? So, because I did that video Wednesday night, you could tell I was getting sick a little bit. Thursday, I actually felt a little sicker, taking meds and doing all these different things, and I was all excited because I'm like, oh, I've got so much to watch tonight on TV. I've got, okay, I actually did do that wrong. Okay. No, I didn't. Sorry. Oi, friends. Friends and family. Family and friends. Lend me your ears. I'll give them back, I promise. Okay. Focus, Julie. Focus. So, I'm all excited all Thursday because I'm like, all right, I'm going to stitch. I got stuff to do. But then, I'm like, I also got NFL draft. I got the Blues are playing and hockey. And I mean, I just like, I have so much to do and watch today. I was just like, such a good mood. Hubby comes home, normal time, dinner time happens, we eat dinner, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, so I just bought a ticket to go to see Avengers tonight. I was like, really? What time? Because I didn't think there was any tickets available. He's like, 3 a.m. Hey, I'm telling the story. He said 3 a.m. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah. He's like, it's perfect. I'll just go to bed earlier. and then I'll wake up at like 2, go see the movie, and then once we get out, it'll be like 6:30, and I'll just go into work because he always goes into work early. I was like, oh, well, that's actually a pretty good plan, I suppose. And he's like, you want to go? And I'm like, no. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, if he goes to see the movie and he can't talk to me about it, or if he goes and sees them, I'm like, this is the kind of thing that really we need to do together. This is a family event. We had tickets on Sunday, but gosh darn it, I didn't want to wait either. So then, like, half an hour later, I'm like, buy me a ticket. I'm coming with you. So, all right, hold on. I'm just looking. So anyway, so we go and you go to bed. Okay, I'm just putting this down. I got to tell you a story. So we're putting this. So, we go to bed at about 7:30. I miraculously actually went to sleep. I think it was because I was definitely getting sicker. So woke up at 2:15, something like that. Left at 2:30. 3 a.m. showing. There's like another 75 crazies in the theater with us. It was a big, huge theater. And sure enough, as soon as the movie starts, I could totally forget that it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't even think about it. Movie ends. By the way, if you are going to go see the movie, definitely be okay with the idea of taking breaks to go to the bathroom. I did not. I suffered for that mightily at the end of the film. Mightily. I didn't miss anything in the film, but after the film was over, trying to get to the bathroom was one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. And I've done a lot of difficult things in my life, but literally that was very, very bad. And but anyway, so it's 6:45, whatever, in the morning. I come home, I get ready for work, going to work really early. I end up working through lunch. It's so busy, I have to work through lunch all day long. And then I get home last night and I'm just decimated. I'm sicker than I was 24 hours earlier, and I just don't feel good. I'm super tired. Went to bed last night about 8 o'clock. Like I said, got up this morning at 8 o'clock. Gosh, that seemed like a much longer story than I thought it was going to be. I'm sure you guys are thinking, no, that was a pretty long story. Anyway, so we're still going tomorrow. I can't wait to see it again. But I should be watching the Blues game right now. They're losing 3-2. There's like 10 minutes to go in the third. I just couldn't watch it. I was struggling with watching it. Could not do it. All right, now I got to highlight because I'm struggling with knowing where I'm at. Where am I? This is not the best project to be talking and stitching with, just because I'm struggling with with trying to figure out where I'm at the whole time with it. We'll get by. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. Oh, it's a little warm up in this room. I gotta take off my little overshirt here. All right. So, so it's been a long week. And oh yeah, and on top of all that, I stayed up late to watch hockey. What was it, Sunday night? Whatever night it was that San Jose came and they went into overtime and won that game. I watched all the overtime games. Schedule's been thrown off. And that was a big reason why I came back, and I was just like, I've got so much going on, and it's not stopping. Like, it hasn't stopped. It still hasn't stopped in terms of needing to do things. And so we're going to slow down on the interlude videos for a little while because I need more time. And I still need just to sit down and do those bee videos, those little voiceovers for the bee videos. But anyway, and then I had 3 different sets of dreams last night. Well, I say sets of dreams because they're just not like one tiny dream. It like goes on forever. So I guess when you're having 12 hours sleep, you can have 3 sets of dreams. And then I woke up and, I was coughing for a while and whatnot. First dream involved Captain America. I'm not going to say anything about that. It was a good dream, but I won't say anything about that. Second dream involved my husband's family, which, if you guys are watching, the funny thing is it involved like a much larger version where there were like 50 people in the house, and it just went on for a while, and I don't know what. And then the third dream, I think, involved, it was more of a suspense thriller. So the first one you could say was more of like a romantic comedy. The second one was more of a family, maybe a family drama, although it was all good drama. There was no real drama. And the third one was more of like suspense, mystery, thriller kind of thing where I was being, I don't know, it was just really weird. It was very detailed. I should have wrote it all down as soon as I woke up. I did not, and that was a mistake. I should have, because it's pretty funny how detailed my dreams are. All right, Julie, be quiet for a second and just get, ooh, I can stitch this way up here. I'm going to stitch it while I'm there. I want to stitch it while I'm here. Anyway, all right, so this is as good a time as any. This is as good a time as any. We have a special announcement. One of our illustrious subscribers, and you, every single one of you guys are illustrious. Okay, brain freeze. This said individual is graduating from college very soon, anytime. And to celebrate their graduating from college, as well as the arrival of the new bees, the beginning of bee season, me starting the honeybee portrait, she has incredibly, very generously offered to donate this to you guys. Not this piece of paper, folks, but the Heaven and Earth Designs honeybee portrait in the large format. We're talking the big Mondo one that I'm currently doing. You're not getting just the design as far as just this little design. You're getting the whole entire thing, guys. She got it from Hade. She bought it from Hade, had it sent to her. It will come from her. And not only that, but she made 4 of the cutest little bead-focused needle minders that you have ever seen. If I had not been sick and otherwise completely overwhelmed, I would have done this last week. For one, we were going to do this last week. And number 2, I would have actually gotten a picture of the needle minders. Let me just say that they're adorable. And she wanted to donate this basically to one of you guys. If you have been wanting to do this honeybee portrait, or maybe you just haven't done a Heaven and Earth Designs and don't know what it's like, or you just really want an awesome challenge to do, this is your opportunity. And so let's do something. I'm trying to come up with an idea for how we can hide this giveaway, because you guys know, if this is your first time being here and knowing that we have giveaways, then you haven't been watching the Stitch With Me's, and that's fine. You don't have to, but for those that watch the Stitch With Me, this is maybe our 3rd giveaway we've done in the last like 3 months, maybe. This is usually where we do the giveaways for the most part, because we hide this in here so that the diehards that come in and love stitching, love to watch the stitching, can come in and we can all have fun together. These are the people that probably would actually take a project and do it if they win one. So if you guys think you want to do this, this is a multi-year project. This is something that, you know, you're going to get to choose whatever fabric you want. You're going to have to get that yourself. This chart contains 89 colors. It was originally designed to be done on 25 count fabric. I neglected. I did not want to do that. I think mine's on 18, I think. The stitch count is 500 by 687. This is going to take you years, okay? Years to do. But if you want to give it a shot, let's say this. We can do a drawing, or we can do something really unique. No. Tell you what, let's just do a drawing, because the uniqueness is going to be very, like if I said, hey, let's name one of the queen bees in one of our hives, and it would be so subjective based on probably what my husband would like, and then I'd be afraid that there'd be multiple people with the same name, and then it would just be a complete, you know, problem. So why don't we just have you guys comment on the honeybee portrait. Let's be very specific though, because I don't want just random people to come along. Let's say, let me ask you a question, and you don't have to be right, but you just have to actually, like, I don't know, have an opinion, just an opinion in a comment. Let's just say, I Gosh, what am I going to say? Well, I'm sorry. I should have thought of this really well ahead of time, but I didn't. Let's just do something with bees. Let's just say, do you guys think that beekeeping is... What area of the country do you guys think beekeeping is best for? Like, in your opinion is your opinion. There's no right or wrong, because beekeeping is done in literally every state in the country, and that does include Alaska. There is summer beekeeping in Alaska. But, because my husband actually watches Canadian beekeepers and things like that. But what area of the country do you think would be best for overall honey production? So I don't care if you guys say a state. If you guys said, hey, I think Florida would be the best. Or if you said, you know what, the West Coast would be the best. I don't care. But just say, like, I think the blah, blah, blah would be the best area for beekeeping. And if you do something like that, you're entered in the drawing. And we'll do the drawing and we'll announce the winner next week. Okay, guys? That's for the Heaven and Earth Designs. That is for the Needle Minders. And everything will be sent directly to you so you can pick a winner. I am so excited about this. This is one of the most generous things that anybody has done. And there have been some generous things that you guys have done. I do not publicly speak about them because I don't wish for you guys to go out of your ways and do things. But when you do, I greatly appreciate it. And I really greatly appreciate this individual for donating everything here. And I think it's awesome. And I actually didn't get the permission to say this person's name, which is why I'm not saying the person's name, which I think she'd be okay with it, but I'll ask her. And if that's the case, hey, just comment on this and everybody can thank you individually. That would be awesome. All right, back to stitching. Let me get my needle minders on. Needle minders? What is wrong with my brain? Too much cough medicine, cold medicine, not enough sleep, too much sleep, beehives, Avengers, craziness. Bees are bees. See? Birds are buzzing in my ear. You name it. It crazy. All right. My goodness, guys. Anyway, okay, so there's that topic of conversation, and it's now done. If you just got up and walked away and came back and missed the last 5 minutes of me just jabbering away, you missed something. Rewind. Anyway. Do 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 do. Anyway. All right. So along those things. So one of the things that we didn't do this week, as we're talking about stuff people send and whatnot, I got berated. I'm going to call it a berating by one of yous. And if you'd signed your name, I would have known who it was. But you didn't sign your name. I can go back through my comments and figure out who it is. You from Georgia, who sent me that nice long list, thank you, of stitchers that I need to look and make sure that are on my list. But this person had the gall, the absolute gall, to say that I'm not really from Georgia. Or that I'm barely from Georgia. That was probably the more appropriate thing. I'm barely from Georgia. I'm not technically, I can't call myself a Southerner. I can't say I was raised in Georgia. So I was like all, what? Last night when I was opening the package, because we finally got the mail after maybe 5 days. And I was all, what? I sounded like an alarm going off because I was like, how can you say that? So here's the funny thing. So I know I don't have much of a Southern accent. And most of the time when I do have an accent, it's mostly a country accent. It's not a specific Georgian accent. I've had people say that I definitely sound like I'm more from Chicago area, which I was born and raised till I was about 7 in. Okay, hold on. See? Once again, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going. Gosh, doing it. Jules, you done lost your mind. I think you done plumb lost your mind. I know I'm not trying to be accent there. That's not an accent. Okay, hold on. Right here. And here. Okay, that's it. All right. So anyway, I have what you would call a mimicer's ear. Actually, I don't know what you call it. I know there's a term for it, but I am a mimic. Oh man, I went right through that. Look at that. Do you guys do that all the time? I do it with this project all the time. Hold on. Let me undo this. Probably just get a new piece of floss while I'm at it. But I mimic most people around me. My husband's from the Midwest, and he moved to Georgia with his family before he was in high school. So his accent is more of just a generalized Colorado accent, which is not much of an accent at all, depending upon how you look at it. I know folks that are from the UK would say that there's an American accent, but there's different dialects, right? There's a dialect that's very plain, and I kind of call Colorado plain talk in a way. But you have people that come from all over. I'm trying to find my floss, like my big piece of floss. What did I do with it? Is that it? That's not it. Is that it? That's not it. Did I drop it? I must have dropped it. Where'd it go? Which way did it go? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to pull some new floss out here. Per the norm. Oh, no, wait, there it is. Haha, found it. So I mimic. I mimic people, and it's embarrassing sometimes because I can't help it. And so when people come in with English accents, I mimic their accent. Actually, I won't mimic their accents as much as I'll start using English slang left and right. You know, I'll call their dog lovely, and I don't know, other things I'll say. You know, I'll just say different things that are more English in nature. And so if somebody comes in with an Australian or Irish accent, it starts coming out. Can't help it. Someone comes in from the South, and I do have quite a few people that are originally from Alabama, North Carolina. Well, North Carolina are more the part that actually has an accent. Tennessee, you name it. Texas. And when they come in, my accent pops out so fast. It's just crazy. It's my original Southern accent that I had when I was younger. But when I moved to Colorado, all right, so let's establish my residency in Georgia. So 1980, 81, maybe 82. I was like 9. It was like a month before my 9th birthday or 8th birthday. I think it was my 9th birthday. I was going into 4th grade. We moved to northern Atlanta, and we lived there. I lived there until 1992, where I then spent 2 years out here in Colorado, going to school at Colorado State. And then I moved back to Georgia in 1994, and I stayed there until 2000, and then moved to North Carolina in 2000. And then in 2001, moved out here to Colorado, and been living in Colorado for the last, 18 years. And I had a thick accent when I first moved out here because I got made fun of all the time because of my accent. And because nobody around here had that, or at least nobody I worked with had that kind of an accent. So they were mercilessly making fun of me. So I sort of consciously started mimicking what they were doing. And then after a bit, that just became the normal way I spoke. And they were, they were from, Colorado, and that was no big deal. But so how many years was I here? I was here originally 10-ish, and then I came back, so 16. So I've spent about 15, 16 years of my life here, which is still not as much time as I've spent living in Colorado, which actually, now that I think about it, is pretty crazy. Wow. I always wanted to live in Colorado, the mountains and whatnot, and I still love it. I still love being out west here, but I still think of myself as Southern. I mean, my family and my friends, I have tons of family and friends still back in Colorado, or still back home. And maybe the next time I go home for any time, I'll just go ahead and hold on. I'm just gonna get this right here. But first I want to get that right there. I'll talk. But yeah, it's pretty funny when it does come out because it's just it's raging. It's a total raging accent, but and it's not silly. Okay, I shouldn't say silly because it's not silly accent where like actors make up accents and have these like highfalutin accents. A lot of the classic Southern accents are probably still only found in Mississippi, Alabama. I'd say Georgia. There's a lot of Georgians that their accents are getting a lot more mild than they used to be. And a lot of that is just, you watch TV and you hear different things, but it's also just there's so many people from all over the country have moved in and diluted out that long-term Southern twang that normally would dominate. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. So, anyway, I totally understand what you're saying. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it and everything, like, well, I have lived in Colorado for longer than I lived in Georgia, which is just crazy. But I grew up there, I mean, I went to 4th grade through my 3rd year of college or 2nd year of college or whatever. So, Georgia school football, blah, blah, blah. Which it is funny because I think it just really depends on just how easily you pick up and lose accents. I have a friend of mine that lives out here, and he's a good friend. And we actually grew up only about a half an hour away from each other in Georgia, which is funny because we ended up out here. And, okay, I think I'm done with this color. I'm not making any progress with this color. Let's move on. Let's move on, shall we? But, I suppose I can tell you guys where I went to school. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I went to Etowah High School in Cherokee County. And when I went to high school in Cherokee County, there were only 2 high schools. Now there's maybe 6. The place has just exploded. From a little town. No, I'm not even going to tell you that. And I went to school. I went to college a couple years at Kennesaw College. When I went to college, or Kennesaw University, it was Kennesaw State College when I went to school there. And then it was, I don't know, is it Kennesaw State University, I think now? And so it's crazy. They have a football team, for crying out loud. They were commuter school purely commuter school, almost like a community college in a sense when I went there. Okay, why am I still wanting to try to do the same thing that I just said I would stop? Oy. All right. Anyway, so I got Southerner chops, man. I don't love grits. I never, ever loved grits. Biscuits and gravy, though, love them. I've had fatback. When I went to school at the University of Georgia, and one of our trips, so to speak, we were in clinical year, we went out to the state penitentiary. Yeah, seriously, guys, I seriously went to the state penitentiary. On the way to the state penitentiary, in the middle of nowhere, literally, there was this little restaurant that our professor just was like, every time we come out here, I gotta stop and eat here. So we all stopped and ate there, and it was disgusting. It was like, and I hate to say disgusting, it was just, I like fried foods. There is a level to the fried food that, like, I can't handle physically. And I'm not talking like stomach wise. I'm talking just, it just feels bad to eat some of the stuff. But I had my first fatback while I was there. Fatback is literally the top of the pig, like the back fat on the pig, basically. And so they cut it off in little strips and then they fry it up. And I think do they put any coating on it? I don't know. But I was like, all right, I got to try fatback. I got to. And I got to tell you, I was sick for the rest of the day. I will never forget that, and I will never eat it again. So, all right, I'm getting ready to do a new color here. I think you guys will appreciate how drastically different this color looks than the last one. Yeah, it's 414. The other one was 317. They're pretty dang close. All right, hold on. Let me get up here, figure out what I'm doing. There's a lot of stitching that is going to be accomplished. Well, I can do a whole lot right here. Anyway, so, yeah. What other strictly Southern things? Did the whole Stone Mountain stuff. Do they still do the, Southerners, do they still do that big old, I think they stopped doing it. Well, Stone Mountain has a smaller carving of Confederate leaders from the Civil War time, and they used to do this laser light show off of the side of it, right on those figures, and it was pretty incredible. It was pretty special to watch that, and but did Six Flags Atlanta. what's got the big chicken in Marietta? Yeah, my mom worked pretty close to where that was. If you don't know what the big chicken is, just look up big chicken in Georgia, and there's like this massive red and white sign that is kind of a landmark. Gosh, what else? What else did I do? Zaxby's. Oh my gosh, did I do that again? Look at that, I did it again. See, this project is so prone to this. Anyway, Zaxby's. Oh my gosh, Zaxby's is for those who don't know, because it's only in, I think it's still only in the South. It hasn't made its way out here yet, and I would know because I'm keeping an eye out for it. But it's all over the South. It's basically like chicken. It's kind of like the Chicken Shack that we have out here, but it's like, it's wings and it's tenders and has more stuff, but really it all boils down to their sauce, their fries. I mean, the way they're, everything. It's just so good. I never get wings when I'm there, though. Okay, what did I do? I can't get this out. I can take this off. Come here. And this is stuck. What did I do? What? And then it's, oh, I see. That's why, because it's got a, okay, hold on. Let me work on this snack for a second. Oh, it's so good, though, because they make this, like, special Zaxby's sauce. And it's just like, it's like a fry sauce, but it's also like their chicken sauce. And my favorite thing to get there is, like, the chicken tender sandwich, because the bread is so soft. And then the bread is soft, and then the chicken is so moist, and it's, oh, it's so good. My husband and I were down, and where did we go? It must have been when we went back to Jackson. Was it in Jacksonville? It can't be Jacksonville. We weren't in Georgia. Wherever we were, there was a Zaxby's. And so it must have been the last time that we went to Jacksonville. We must have gone someplace where there was a Zaxby's and ate there. Aha! Success! I finally got it undone here. And I'm like, hubby, we got to have ourselves some Zaxby's, because you need to try this. And even now he says, yeah, it might have been the best chicken he ever had in his whole life. It is just amazing, and I can't wait. And if I had any ability to open a restaurant out here, it would probably be a Zaxby's. But anyway, so then, why am I even talking about this? Oh, the southern thing. Chicken fried steak, country fried steak, however you want to call it. Yum. One of my favorite meals ever. Okay, what am I doing? I know I keep saying that. It's because it's true. There we go. Anyway, so then, what else big southern that I do? Or southern-ish. Nothing like the azaleas in the spring. Can't stand humidity. Big reason why I try not to go home in the summer. Guys, I did it again! Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm seriously having problems. But we all knew that. And now, here we go. So now it's come through. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, man. Come here. Come here, you little thing, you. Why will you not come through? Is it another... Oh, man. Did I just tear that? I did, didn't I? All right, no worries. No worries. Hold on. All right. All right. We're going to grab this out of this. Oh, okay. We're going to grab this out of this. There we go. And then we're going to re-cut this part. And we're going to be right back where we started. Oy. Okay. Anyway. Throw that away. What else do I like that's southern? Gravy. White gravy. Well, that's also Midwestern. But Midwestern, at least growing up, tend to make a lot of their stuff in yard. I really ought to just give up right now. I'm not functioning adequately. Haven't been this whole time. I'm pretty sure I'm recording. Hopefully I'm recording. It's going to really be stinky if I come back and it's like not recorded anything. No, it's recording. It's okay. What else do I like that's southern? I couldn't tell you. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I've given up my southerner identity. I gave that up a long time ago. embraced being a Westerner. I felt like it suited my temperament or my love of doing stuff. That's been tempered a lot just because of my physical inabilities, as my back and my neck have kind of gotten older with the rest of me. But anyway, accents, that's what we're talking about. So yeah, Texas still has very strong accents, very distinctive. Yep. Anyway, oh. No, I won't get into that right yet. Okay, I'll talk about that another time. I had something in my head I was going to talk about, but nope, not going to do it. My nose is starting to run. Sent the husband on, see, can't talk. Sent the husband out on, he's gone off to clean his car because apparently he, I think he made up the sugar water in his car or in his SUV today. And so you basically, to do that, you get a bunch of, he filled up his water, pre-filled up his water, and then poured sugar into it, like about 3 pounds of sugar into one, gallon jug, and mix it around and whatnot, and then and then you can just add it to the little feeder that we have for him. Oh, you kidding me? Are you snagging again? And so that's kind of how that works, but apparently he spilled water, spilled sugar, so the back of his SUV is like sugar water, so he needs to get in there and actually like clean it really good. So he's gone off to like go to some place to have that done a little better, because the bees won't leave us alone if our SUV is always smelling like really awesome sugar water. So sent him to pick up some wings at the same time. Yep. Oh, barbecue. So, okay, well, let's go back down to the southern thing again. So, barbecue, right? Barbecue is individualized, like saying, what do you want on your burger? Or, something else that's very individualized for people. Like, it's just so different. Barbecue comes in so many different styles. And for those of you who are not from America, it's not the same as grilling out. Having a barbecue doesn't make any sense, because when you have a barbecue, you are grilling usually. You use a little grill device that usually put it's either gas heated or charcoals or whatever you have, and you have grates on top of that, and you then put your meat products or whatever it is that you're doing on top of that, and you cook over an open flame. Barbecue is a style of food in which meat is cooked in a specific manner. And again, it usually involves open heat, but I'm not going to describe this very well at all. But it is... Yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm not making any sense right now. So don't look to me to answer any questions about the difference between barbecue and grilling, but grilling is basically, I don't know. Anyway, so there's different forms of barbecue. And when I say different forms, it usually means different ingredients that are usually added to the barbecue to change the texture or the taste or the moistness of the moisture level of the meat. As you notice, I have stopped stitching now. I'm done stitching for this video, guys. I'm sorry. There's just no way I can do both. There is your, let's say, your Texas style barbecue, which my understanding basically is that there's usually not sauce involved. If you're talking about ribs, you're always talking about beef ribs from a cow, versus I think most people would, when they say like baby back ribs, are thinking about ribs. Those are more pork ribs. And so, because they're smaller, they're usually going to be more tender. Beef ribs usually going to have a lot more meat on them, theoretically. Depends on the quality of the meat that you got. And so usually there's a dry rub, which is more of just a combination of different seasonings that you apply to the meat, cooked over an open flame. And then you can still put sauce on it or use sauce to dip in it and whatnot, but it's just that's just a certain style. Then there's Carolina barbecue, which is more of a vinegar-based sauce. maybe a mustard-based sauce too, or is it they use both? I'm not a fan. And a lot of people absolutely love it. I'd say that in Colorado, Carolina-based barbecue is probably the most common type that I have come across that I've tried. And there's some different chains that when you go into them and you test their like barbecue sauce, it is vinegar based, it is Carolina based, and I'm like, yeah, not using it, not going to use that sauce at all, or any of their sauces. And I don't visit those places after I've been there once because it's just not my type of barbecue. So then, I see there's those two. There's St. Louis. There is Kansas City. I guess maybe I'm thinking of. Well, St. Louis ribs, which I couldn't tell you exactly what makes those, but there's Kansas City style, which honestly I couldn't tell you a whole lot about Kansas City style, but it is a different way of cooking it. There's a lot more sauce involved, but it has a very distinctive taste to it. There's Memphis barbecue, which also has a very distinctive taste to it, and those are sort of, I think, if there are four main barbecue types. Those are the four. St. Louis is not one of those. St. Louis is like another offshoot. And what the offshoot that I love the most is what I call Georgia barbecue, which is a sweet barbecue sauce. It is usually pork based, and that includes ribs, where most places, most people will go in and get the ribs or get the pork, the pulled pork, where you just, everything's so soft, you just pull everything apart, serve it on a sandwich or whatnot. Maybe chicken, not a lot of beef normally, but so the Southern sweet barbecue is my favorite. There are a few restaurants out here that serve that barbecue in that style, and I'm totally in love with them. That's the other way that you can tell I'm from Georgia. This is the kind of barbecue I like. Man, I am not making any sense today, guys. I think we've talked long enough, though. Not that there's a minimum, but I like for there to be a minimum. It is a beautiful day outside. It's got to be like maybe 70 degrees, a few clouds in the sky. It's very bright. It's really nice. Anyway, I'm just pausing because I'm listening. But I got me some wings coming, and I got to go down and find out what happened to St. Louis. And I got to actually finish this and focus and finish on it because I've got all the colors that I need. I pulled them all up here. I just didn't get any stitching done while I was talking to you today. I can't talk and stitch when I'm sick. I can't be three things all at once. Anyway, at least I didn't cough. Cough drops help. Yeah, so we all have our marching orders here, what we're going to go off and do. Now, here's the other thing too, guys. What am I going to do this next week? I got to finish up this Reaper thing, but now I don't have any guides as to which projects I should work on. So could you guys give me some hints as to what you want to see me work on? I know I need to get the blended projects going. And if you guys want to lean on those hard just to force me to do it, that would be great. But you don't have to. If you want to see me focus on Old World Map 2 again. Hey, if you want to see me start Heaven and Earth, Space Traveler, the Doctor Who piece, tell me that. What about Tower of Babel? What about Rainy Waterloo? No, let's not do Rainy Waterloo. I've already had two out of the last like 8 weeks be Rainy Waterloo, and I'm already doing enough of that. I don't know, baseball, no, not a popular. Apothecary Shop is too popular too. It's just too popular. Stormtrooper. Want to see me start the Thames? Let's vote. And you guys this time will be the only ones that get to vote. And so I won't have everybody vote. You guys tell me because you are the ones that watch these videos. So let's have you guys vote. And we'll just go from there. I gotta go upload this video so y'all can see it. I gotta watch some hockey. I'm gonna watch Avengers tomorrow, do some more bees, get a bee video up, get over this cold. There's a lot to do, people. All right. I thank you for making it this far in the video. I really do. You're diehard, or you fell asleep and you're just now waking up. That's possible too. But I'm sorry I'm so scatterbrained. If that bothered you, you probably aren't watching anymore anyway. I can't think of anything else. I'm behind on everything just because of everything that's been going on. But May is going to be quieter. I do not have Stitch Mania plans. I don't even know what the theme for Stitch Mania is right now. I haven't had a chance to do anything, of watching anybody, getting anything done. So my Stitch Mania, mine's year-long mania, like I think I said in the other video. Mine's monthly mania. It just always happens. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy it. I'm going to figure out what Stitch Mania is because all the videos are going to be about Stitch Mania. The videos that I watch will be about Stitch Mania starting soon, so. But I need to get back into some of these other projects. Alright, guys. I'm going to start yawning. I'm going to get me some wings. I'm going to upload this video. No particular order. Seja. Oh, yeah, so, for those of you who like or do not like my sports talk, especially for those who have the husbands that listen to me while I do the sports talk and talk about sports, I will talk about the draft, the NFL draft and hockey playoffs probably next week, because I don't think there's going to be really anything else. I won't talk anymore about the bees for a while unless something dramatic happens. But other than that, we'll probably do a lot of sports talk next week. So I will see you guys really soon. Weekly update. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. You know what? Watch the blog if you want to see what I'm doing. I've been getting a lot of progress done on other projects. And but I'll see you guys soon. I gotta stop talking. I'll see you later. Bye.